live. It's been a little while, so you may have forgotten that we actually do a radio show.
I apologize. I've been dying.
Yes, he has been dying. And our program manager, this guy...
We should never have hired him.
No, he's
His
always
references
gone fishing.
were spectacular, though. He referenced those guys over there.
We got a lot of shit we got to talk about today.
Yep. Important shit.
Important shit.
Yeah.
Stuff that's been bugging us. Well, stuff that's been bugging me.
Mostly him.
But we'll start off with UFC news.
All right.
So go ahead.
Oh,
What's
wait,
up, Bogowski?
me?
Yeah. Start this shit off. Start it off, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, anyway, there's been a lot of news about the possibility of the UFC being sold to some company in China.
Oh, yeah.
Dana White vehemently denies this. He says there's no chance that's happening.
No?
I mean, I do remember a very similar rumor a while back, pretty much almost exactly the same company in China, or maybe last time it was the Middle East, was going to buy the UFC.
Yeah, I remember the Middle East, didn't they buy some shares or
they
something?
bought
Part
11%, I believe.
Okay.
Because I want to say the government of Abu Dhabi owns 11%.
I couldn't remember if it was Abu Dhabi or Dubai.
Yeah, I was saying that
them.
too, but just so happens when I was looking up the actual article where they were talking about the sale, they said it was Abu Dhabi.
Oh, okay.
Which makes more sense.
Well, good Abu Dhabis.
Yeah. Good job there. And obviously the Fertitta brothers own 80%, and Dana White owns 9%.
Oh, really? He owns that little?
Well, I mean, he technically was just an employee of the company. So the fact that, 9% of a company that, according to this sale, was net like $3.5 billion.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely pretty good. He just, I just assumed he had more of a share, but
no, I mean, don't forget, he was always just running the
Fertittas
place.
really did spend all the money. So I mean,
they were the ones taking all the real risk. He was just running it.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, he did a great job of it. He's made them an ungodly amount of money. It's such a return on their investment. But, he still technically was basically an employee of theirs.
Right.
So, yeah, that's how much he owns, which technically makes him the third lowest person down, or fourth. Fertitta brothers, the entire country of Dubai, or Abu Dhabi.
And then Mr. White, as he likes to be
White.
called. White.
Yeah,
So,
right.
it's all rumors, just speculation, no real... But sometimes these rumors sometimes turn out to be true.
Oh, yeah, a lot of times they do, but Dana White is denying it up, down,
Sideways.
left, and right. Yeah, which either means he's not involved or it's just not true.
Yeah.
I'm willing. Seeing how this appears to all be coming from one place that isn't citing any good sources, I'm just going to take Dana White's word on it at the moment and say the UFC isn't for sale. Plus, anyways, Fertitta's got a lot of money. They didn't just get into UFC to make money. They love the sport. That's why they got into it.
Right.
So I don't see them going out of their way to just, we can sell it off for some quick cash. Because I don't think that they're hurting for money or anything that they need to
know
sell.
of.
That is true. That is true. They very well could. I mean, maybe the station casinos are having a hard time. I know they.
From what I
get a
know,
lot from the
Lorenzo
culinary
Fertitta
union.
has a very bad gambling and hooker addiction.
Really?
Yep, I heard
I
that.
would too in that circumstance. Are you kidding me? It'd be hookers 24/7.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
I'd
I'd have so many herpes right now.
You'd never make
I have
any
all
business
of them, in
meetings.
fact. Where is he? Under a pile of hookers again? Oh, all right. Let's just start without him, like usual.
Like usual.
All right, but there's other news too. Apparently, BJ Penn is making his comeback, UFC 199.
Yeah, that's the
and he has a
thing
new
I heard.
opponent now because Dennis Seaver has injured himself and dropped off. He's now fighting Cole Miller.
Okay.
Which I think is actually a more interesting fight. Because I'm not a huge Dennis Seaver fan. I don't have anything against him, but I have never been excited to see Dennis Seaver fight.
Yeah, me neither.
It's no offense to him. He's a perfectly fine fighter, middle of the road kind of guy.
He's just not your cup of tea is all.
No, he's just not very exciting. Striking isn't that dynamic. His wrestling isn't that good. No real jiu-jitsu to speak of. I mean, he's just sort of there. And, I mean, he wins some fights. He loses some fights. Even his losses usually aren't impressive.
Yeah.
Just, because he's good enough not to get his butt completely kicked most of the time.
Just kind of lying in the weeds. But he's going to bust loose, bro.
You gonna bust
He'll
loose?
bust loose.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, BJ Cole Miller, what do you got?
Oh,
Who do you got?
BJ.
Yeah, I think
100 times. I mean, I like Cole Miller a lot, but he's never impressed me. He has what's known as farmer's hands.
I was going to say, I'm sure he must have something like farmer's hands.
Yep.
Not gunfighter's hands like
Yeah.
BJ Penn has.
Or, baby hands like baby hands Trump.
Yeah, baby. Or as they were commenting, your hands.
Yes, because I got a little bit too much fat right here.
Tell us what happened.
Okay. I get a tendency to get a little bit of pain when I do certain movements with my hands, and I was asking the occupational therapist I work with why that is. So she was having me do some little movements and stuff, and she goes, "Well, you got a little bit too much fat right there." And she goes, "Usually that goes off people's hands when they stop being children. It's like you got baby's hands." I'm like, bitch.
Son of a bitch! What do you just say? I have baby's hands. How dare you?
She didn't mean it. Well, no, she probably did mean it as insulting. She's a bitch, but still.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to say.
No. She's a friend. It's all right.
Well, I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing. Fat on the thumbs.
Well, not on the thumbs, just like there.
In your webbing.
Basically,
you got fat webs.
Says that it should be harder with muscle there because usually the fat just kind of goes away. And it's not a place people would like. Even if you're fat, you don't normally get fat there. That's not common. So she's like, well, she's giving me some exercise to do. Just do this. It'll strengthen
grip.
your hands.
You need to do a lot of grip things like Crunch from the Big Hit would do.
There is some stuff like that. Yeah. She gave me some simpler stuff to do. It doesn't require a grip, although I do want to get some more of those.
Yeah, we had the individual finger gripper,
I didn't
the
like
eagle
that one
claw gripper.
That was clearly the best one. And, of course, the forearm one.
Yep, the forearm. Which, that was a great one until they told me I couldn't bring it to school anymore because they thought it looked like it could potentially be a weapon some way, somehow, someday.
Yeah,
but
it could.
It was a weapon. It was making these forearms pop.
No. It was helping you smuggle in those guns. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, he is looking jacked as shit. This guy is on so many roids right now, you got no idea.
Oh, yeah.
He's got like no testicles left.
Yeah.
He's got like half of one testicle currently.
They have rescinded back into my body. I mean, receded, not rescinded.
Yeah, I wasn't going to correct you.
You
I was hoping that our two viewers would not notice, and it'd all be fine. But it's all right. Just throw yourself under the bus. I'm cool with it.
If I can get 8 shots in my ass a day, that's a good day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you just got to kind of work your way around all the sores and the hemorrhoids and those like weird pop marks you get.
I'm going to start injecting steroids directly into my heart.
That makes sense. How else are you going to get an enlarged heart?
Exactly.
Horses have big hearts.
I want to boost my endurance, so I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Strong heart, strong mind.
Exactly. Just probably inject it right into your brain, go through the eye.
Absolutely.
Best way to do it. Get supervision in one eye.
Or like
super off-putting.
Well, I need like one of those Matrix things where I can plug it into the back of my head. Like
there
a
you go.
steel spike.
He's going to jack in.
Yeah. I don't know why. That scene always got me a little bit. I don't know. There's something about it.
There's a lot of scenes that get me. That was never one of them. I was always very cool with that.
And anything where something gets injected into somebody's eyeball.
Oh, my God. I can't even watch it. I
close
close my eyes during those parts. And it's weird. I mean, you saw someone getting eviscerated, their head falling apart. They can get their nose bit off.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No big deal.
You do anything to someone's eye, I'm like, Urgh.
Yeah, I'm not a big eye person.
No.
But yeah, there's a couple weird movies like that. I don't know. Anything else in UFC news? I know Silva's opponent.
Yep. Silva got injured, so he's off.
Injured, that's right.
Apparently, he was having abdominal pain. I guess not technically an injury, an illness, maybe.
Yeah, maybe something weird going on.
Yeah. Who knows the exact reason? I assume he probably couldn't, really get down on the steroids quick enough. He didn't want to get popped again. So he's faking abdominal injuries. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly speaking.
Only spoken by me, though. Like, no one else is saying this.
Oh, okay.
Just me.
Well, that
me
makes
and
it
probably
credible.
some douchebags on a forum. That's it. Those are the only people that are saying this. No, I'm sure that whatever it is, it's very much legitimate. I know he wanted to get in there. He's going to fight Uriah Hall. They're trying to find him a replacement. I thought it was a very winnable fight for Silva, so it's something you probably want to get in there on.
Yeah.
Hall is kind of a very hit or miss fighter. Like, I mean, in one fight he destroys.
Looks like a god.
Yeah.
And then
he destroys.
crumbles.
God, who's the guy? The Russian guy. Gegard Mousasi. And then his next fight he loses to Robert Whittaker.
Yeah.
I mean, just gets demolished by him.
Yeah, he's a very touch and go. You don't really know what you're getting
he is.
with this
There's
guy.
no consistency with him.
Well, I remember when he was on the show.
Oh, he was.
It was
like,
like,
are you kidding me?
God,
He was a monster.
He was a fucking killer.
I mean, he'd hit anyone with like one punch, and next thing you know, they're just unconscious. I mean, they'd have to show a punch on a replay in slow motion for you to see it. It was so goddamn fast.
He was delivering some hella fucking blows on that show, and guys were scared to fight him. They were legitimately scared.
Which they should have been. They always started to play Sam, but he's like just too nice of a guy. I always thought he was a douchebag.
Yeah, he seemed very pretentious.
It's like I remember like he was kind of like they were all kind of teasing each other, stuff around his campfire, and it's like the guy that he just beat, and then he goes, your girlfriend's a bitch. It's like out of nowhere. It's like what the fuck?
Like I mean, she is
exactly.
Yeah, I remember that, and it was very awkward.
Yeah, it was
so awkward. It was awkward for me watching it. You get that.
Yeah, after that, you're like, he's that kind of a guy. And he'd always mention that he's too nice of a guy. I'm like,
that's always the problem.
Yeah, I'm like, no, you don't mention that yourself. Like, other people say that about you. You don't say that about yourself. Like, I was too nice of a guy to really try to hurt someone like that. And like, no, you're a fucking dick, man.
Well, it was like, I had
This is why I was never a fan of him.
Yeah, there's people. It always strikes me strange when people like compliment themselves. Like I had an interview. We interviewed this woman a couple weeks ago, and she kept going on. She's like, "Okay, first of all, like I'm really smart," and I'm like, typically. and I heard that a couple times this week where people were like talking and they were like having conversation. They're like,
"Well, there's going with the Trump
really
rule of
smart.
things.
I'm
the smartest, most fantastic brain you will ever see on a body that looks like this, and my hair is on point, and there is going to be no one that could possibly do this job better than myself. I'm going to become the smartest, best person at this by tomorrow."
Good segue, because now we're into Trump territory.
Uh-oh. I was not planning on switching things over that quick, but let's do it.
So, Trump's been on, like, a winning streak.
Well, I'd say his winning streak pretty much ended because he won.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
But it's been so long since we've done one of these fucking things. He's been, winning.
Then it got kind of iffy. He started losing some.
He was
kind of dipping. He was going back and forth. But then in Indiana, I mean, that was like the big one. Like, if Cruz could take that, he had a chance of still getting like the contested nomination. So he had, because they felt if it was contested, there's no chance Trump would win because no one in the Republican Party wanted him, except of course all the Republicans.
Right.
So they're just gonna overlook all that and just kind of go with what they know to be tried and true.
Right.
Which sadly would be Ted Cruz. It's one of those things that I really don't like Donald Trump. And the weird thing is I don't really dislike any of his actions. I just disliked him on a personal level. Whereas Cruz, there's just what little I know about him I hate. Mm-hmm. And just the fact that like other Republicans that I would not call all that good of people say like, I remember like, I think it was John Boehner is like, this is somebody recently. He is the biggest piece of human trash I've ever met in my life. Like, he's like, I got friends on both sides of the aisle. We still hang out. We talk. Even people we didn't like, it was always kind of amicable. Nobody likes this guy. He is complete human garbage. And he had no reason to be saying this either. It wasn't like he was supporting one person. He wasn't stumping for Trump or anything like that. He was just saying, like, this guy is the worst. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not at all upset that Trump won the nomination. I think it's going to make things actually a lot more interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Now, the entertainment value that is upon us is remarkable.
I'm not going to lie.
I don't even know what could happen.
It does scare me a little bit because this is a guy who made a lot of his money with junk bonds and kind of destroying companies for profit, basically. And, I mean, he's run so many companies into the ground. I mean, he's done really well with quite a few, but a lot of his money was made through not really building things as much as destroying them or franchising them.
Yeah, taking shit over.
Yeah. So, like, even though, don't get me wrong, he's a great businessman in a sense, I'm not sure we'd want him running everything. I mean, obviously, luckily, there's like 1,001 checks
and balances.
So, I mean, there is a limit to how much damage someone can really do.
I am excited to see some fucking rioting. I'm excited to see some more roadblocks would be nice with some good video.
Yes.
I'm excited to see more of Alex Jones running around screaming at people.
I just can't wait for his, because let's face it, he's probably going to take on Hillary. She is the dumbest, oldest woman. I mean, she's an enabler. She allows her husband to cheat. She has no self-respect. She doesn't respect women. I do. I love women. I love the Hispanics and the blacks.
I gotta miss
love
the
them all,
universe,
and
for
they
God's
love me
sake.
too, because I am the best person for them. I'm always thinking about them. Mexicans are rapists.
Who is the best? I'm trying to think. Who is a good Trump impersonator? I'm trying to think.
Daryl Hammond?
Yeah, he was a good one.
Yeah, because he still does it for SNL.
Yeah.
Like, whenever they do Trump, they bring him back still.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, anything. I am all for anything that's going to provide me with more entertainment.
Yeah.
And I don't get scared. I don't get worried.
No. And first of all, because honestly, even if he won, I don't think he'd be our worst president.
No, I don't think things
honestly
would
don't
go
think
as
he'd
crazy
be-
as they would,
Yeah,
as they
no.
might think they would.
I mean,
think
everyone
people would
makes
be pissed.
crazy proclamations when they're running for president. I'm going to build a 1,000-foot wall, and I'm going to make everyone else pay for it, and it's going to cost us
Right.
$15 and change. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone's actually expecting that, because that's what every
I
Republican
am
has been
expecting
saying it.
and I want
Been saying
want
for the
results.
last 20 years, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah, there's so much shit you got to go through. It's kind of like,
yeah. You make a lot of promises. You got to say a lot of stuff.
yeah, you got to
And
say
I
all
mean,
kinds of shit, and
when it comes
people
to
get
it,
fucking
yeah,
riled up
just-
about that shit.
Oh, yeah, they do. Especially Trump supporters, man. They get angry about some of that stuff. They're like, he's a real guy. He says what he means, and he means what he says. It's like, does he really? I mean, his opinions seem to change
That's
pretty
their
quickly
thing.
based
And
on
remember, like with
public
Bush, with W, everybody, the thing was, I would have a beer with
Yeah.
that guy. I want to have a beer with W. He seems like a
Okay,
guy you
I'll
could
just
have
say
a
this.
beer with.
I would love to have a beer with Donald Trump. That'd probably be
Yeah,
fucking
that would be-
awesome.
Hang out at Trump Tower.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Fly
I think,
around
I think
a
having a beer with like
helicopter.
Bernie Sanders would be pretty cool, but you probably just get preachy the whole time. Whereas, Trump would probably just get super sexist and maybe a little racist.
And he probably talks some wild shit. That's the
Yeah,
other
exactly.
thing.
I bet he's got some insane but I bet he only has insane stories. He doesn't even have normal stories.
Come on, he spent a whole season on The Apprentice with Dennis Rodman. How can you not have good stories from that?
Yeah, the man that thought Tito Ortiz beat Lyoto Machida. I mean, he didn't land a punch or anything, but damn, was he in there.
Man, I forgot Tito was on The Apprentice too.
Yep.
Man,
He did relatively well. I think he made it like halfway through.
Yeah,
I
Tito
mean,
was good.
yeah.
My favorite though is always going to be Bill. Bill Rancic is always my favorite
same here.
apprentice from here
Well,
till now.
because season
and ever.
1 was the only one that really caught me.
Yeah,
I watched
lost-
season
I lost
2 and
it
3
afterwards.
kind of. Like, I think I watched all season 2 and I trailed off in season 3, and then it just never got me interested again. Because it just, because I always thought, like, oh, this person could be kind of like running an entire Trump related business, and then it's kind of like he just kind of hires him into a job,
Right.
like an internship, and like for 9 months,
Right.
and that's like,
Very quick thing.
then you can either go do something else or maybe we'll keep you on. Who knows? It's like, oh, this actually isn't like it sounded so much more impressive than it was.
It was a Mark Burnett production, and
Yeah,
this
and it was really
still
well
in the,
done. Mark Burnett does great work,
And
He
it was
does.
the early days of reality TV, and
Yeah.
these guys would get me hook, line, and sinker. Like, I can remember literally I hated that Omarosa chick. Hated
Oh, my
her.
God.
But I didn't know I was being toyed with by the production crew, and that
Yeah.
Omarosa's a fine person. And
No, she's probably a bitch, but still,
well, she's dating.
you can. Yeah. Oh, well, I think
like,
she's married too, isn't she?
She's married. Who is it? It's
Oh
someone's-
God, yeah, famous. It's someone that I remember because I heard that. No, she was married to. It was an actor, big guy, like not Ving Rhames, but the other one, Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh, was she?
I believe so.
I think you're right. I'm Googling it right now. Teresa. Oh, Aaron Stallworth. I don't know who the fuck
All right,
Aaron
well-
Stallworth is.
I think Michael Clark Duncan died. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, he definitely died.
All right. So she's
Um,
probably married to someone else now or something. Or
Yes, I don't know.
Maybe she was
who this-
engaged to him, or maybe they were just dating for a long time. I don't remember exactly how it went.
That was one
But
thing
I-
that shocked the fuck out of me
think
when
that
he
I was
died.
only recently told that like a few weeks ago by someone. I'm like, really? It's cause I can't remember what it was. Part of some like trivia thing we were doing, but not like an actual trivia thing. Which is like watching something and they had like some trivia questions or
Okay.
some bullshit.
For some reason, I don't know who this guy is, but it must have been in a show I was watching recently where it was like oh, I'm married to Omarosa from The Apprentice. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Why the fuck would you want to do that? Like, but I guess somebody can stand the bitch, so maybe she's not too
she's
bad.
probably not that kind of a bitch all the time. Someone's got, you always got to kind of turn that off eventually. And maybe he likes bitches. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe he's one of those guys that likes his balls stomped and to be slapped around in the bedroom a little bit.
Yeah, don't worry. We're not that weird.
All right, so what the hell are we talking about now?
Trump.
God, we divert pretty fucking wildly.
All right.
Back
Let's
to Trump.
let's stay on a subject here.
All right, so we're trumping Trump. He's
Trumpadoo.
now he's
Trumpity.
Trump, Hillary, bam, bam.
Most likely. Technically, Bernie's not out of the race yet. It's just unlikely. It's like he could still force a contested convention.
Yeah.
Among the Democrats. He's been doing really, really well, so that is a distinct possibility. Because I think he won like 9 in a row or 10 in a row or something.
Yeah, he was on
like
fire.
The last time I checked. I don't know. He might still be on a winning streak, or maybe he lost some. Honestly, I don't care. I mean, this isn't the real election. I already voted for Bernie. He's passed through Michigan. I mean, it's old news at this point. So eventually, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna vote Democrat. I don't give a fuck.
He's gonna run the ticket.
Yeah, because I don't want it to go. Mostly because I just don't want to go fill out all those bubbles. It's like, no. I can fill out one and call it a day.
Yeah, it's a very
time-consuming
process.
And I'm not going to go through and fill out all 32 judges I want to. It's like there's 33 judges running. Select 32 of them.
Right.
Can I just select the one I don't want, and you just take the other ones?
But I don't know shit about the judges.
Nobody does.
It's like you really shouldn't even let me vote on that because I'm.
It's funny because
well, I did promise someone outside the rec center that I would vote for her husband, but I don't remember who the fuck that was, so I hope I do the right choice.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Half the time, assuming it doesn't screw with me just voting a straight ticket and it's one of the nonpartisan things.
Yeah.
And so if someone comes and asks me to vote for them, I'll vote for them. I don't give a fuck. Be like, why'd you vote for that baby rapist? They're like, oh, I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It seemed nice.
Yeah,
he gave me a free Tootsie Roll.
He had a lot of puppies in his van. I didn't have time to go and see them, but I'm sure they were cool. And it's just nice that he had that.
Yeah.
He's willing to put forth the effort for, animals.
And he provided a very strong but still subtle manual release to me as I left the van. So that was nice.
I just wanted a back rub, but, shit happens.
All right, so Mike, I got to get into some beef. Let's get into some fucking
beef
time.
It's
been beefing me up all
right, but let's keep it kosher. Come on now, I'm a Jew.
Yeah, I know. I'll keep the thing kosher for you.
Oi.
Okay, so as some people may or may not know, since I don't think
anyone that's listening will know this, but go on.
I have been bitching nonstop about something that happened. Little Facebook back and forth with a former teacher of ours, a Mr. Clark.
Okay, good. We are using it.
We're going to use his name because you know what? I want him to
acknowledge that this is happening.
Yeah, I think. And if he would like to come on, he has an open invite to come on and debate us at any time.
We are respectful, if nothing else.
We are respectful. We're not
bald asshole. I mean,
he's not bald.
He's not
bald.
I thought he was bald.
No, I think he's got a full head of hair.
No.
Or maybe at least
he was definitely thinning the last time I saw it.
It could be thinning. It could very well be
a lot thinning. I heard he started shaving it. I heard that one of the students that went there that he was shaving his head bald.
Okay, well he could be. I've seen him.
I don't know.
Facebook
Maybe they were lying to me.
You know what? Maybe he is. I don't know. I am not sitting with him day in and day out. But I want to preface everything that I'm going to say now that when I had Mr. Clark as a teacher, Mr. Clark was a great teacher. I'm not coming online to say he was an asshole.
He was my second or third favorite teacher. He was a biology teacher.
Yeah, he was my favorite. He was actually my favorite.
He was a lot of people's favorite. My favorite teacher was Mr. Parrish. Go Duke.
Go Duke.
He went to Duke.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he knew the entire lyrics of "End of the World as We Know It" by R.E.M.
Yes, he did, and he could do. And he knew a shit ton about The Simpsons. Huge nerd. I love that guy. He was hilarious, and he was also an amazing teacher.
Yeah.
But that's why, even though I only had him I had Clark for a few classes. But I only
bio.
had Parrish.
Clark was a bio guy.
Bio, genetics, AP bio. I mean,
he still is. I say past tense.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
He's
He
not
still is. Well, I mean, we don't know if he's still a good teacher. He went super religious, apparently. Maybe now
he did go super religious. I mean, he may have been religious before. We don't know.
I would assume, but whenever you're anyone that's super into hunting, I just assume they're crazy religious.
That it tends to be a theme that does stick
yeah.
together. But yeah, I have nothing bad to say about his teaching methods. I think he's a fine teacher. There's nothing ill to say about him.
And that time we saw him right after high school on Drummond Island.
He was very cool then too.
Yeah.
He did want us off the island though.
He was very clear about that. And also, once again, he did not remember who I was, which is weird. Okay, here's the thing. I had him in AP Bio and Genetics at the same time. I sat in the same exact seat. They were 2 hours apart from each other. But the thing was, you're not allowed to be in AP Bio in any other bio class because everything you're going to learn in any of the other lower bio class, I think there was like hydrology and a few other ones.
Right.
You got taught in AP Bio. It was like one section of it. So you weren't allowed to take that because like taking Spanish 1 and 2 at the same time.
Correct.
It took him 3 or 4 weeks to notice I was in both classes. That is how little he knew I was there. Worst one was I got like.
Did you wear all black?
No.
Were you ninjaing into the background or anything?
No. If you remember back then, I had no money. My family wasn't exactly wealthy, and I wore mostly hand-me-downs that didn't fit all that well.
I remember you had every shirt was either a Michigan shirt or a Red Wing
That's
shirt.
because I got them all from my cousin John. Huge Michigan fan. Made me a huge Michigan fan by default. I had no reason to. Right. I knew nothing about Michigan other than like it was the Wolverines. That was the end of my knowledge. I knew they were a good football team at the time. And we won the Rose Bowl at some point. You know, that was and I knew that because I had a shirt that said we won the Rose Bowl.
Those were majestic days.
So I mean, I was just kind of forced into being a Michigan fan, which I was fine with. It's always nice to associate with something. But I had almost nothing but sports-related clothing, usually U of M, because all my clothes were hand-me-downs from my cousin, and a lot of them were really old hand-me-downs from my cousin. So nothing fit. I kind of stood out, I thought, because I did not dress well, which I didn't really notice at the time.
I thought you dressed fine. I didn't really notice anything weird about it. But
all right, good.
Because T-shirts and jeans
it was
fine.
Yeah,
you start wearing other weird shit, and people start to be like, "Wow, this guy's a fucking crazy person."
Yeah, I guess in reality, it was just like some of my T-shirts were a little bit tighter than my body type should have allowed.
Anyways, fuck are we going
on? All right.
Anyways, back to...
I'm just saying, Drummond Island, he didn't recognize me there either.
Well,
that's the whole point.
The thing of it is, that was a very strange trip. We went on a road trip with a gentleman by the name of Jacob Carl and another gentleman by the name of Scott Edbauer. Yep. They knew a mutual friend, and I believe her name was Liz something or other.
I don't give a shit.
Whatever. Her parents had a place on Drummond Island. I can't remember if Jake had a crush on this girl, if they were just good friends. I don't remember.
To my knowledge,
they
were just good friends. Not to say that he didn't also have a crush on her, but I don't. If we met her, it was only for like a minute because she couldn't do anything because she was like with family or she just wasn't there.
I don't know what it was, but they had us drive all the way up to Drummond Island. We spent
and it was
10 minutes
way out of the way. I mean, massive. This was nowhere near where we were because we had gone to just over the bridge near Mackinac Island kind of area.
Yeah, we went to like
just
St.
over the
Ignace.
bridge. Yeah, and so I mean, it was a decent drive considering we were already on vacation at that point.
Yeah. And not to mention we were taking 2 cars because Scott Edbauer, for some reason, didn't want to drive anywhere in the same car.
That makes sense. I was reading a lot of porn on the way back, so I used the word reading very loosely.
Well, anyways, we drive all the way up to Drummond Island. It's a long fucking drive. And we get to these people's houses that we're supposed to be hanging out with there. We get inside. We literally have like a 10-minute conversation with them. And they basically are like, well, you know, we can't really hang out today. Okay, well, we're on an island that pretty much what else could you be doing? What else are you doing on this island?
Well, I think she was visiting family, and we weren't invited. I think he more just kind of showed up.
He pulled the wool over our eyes and gave us a story?
That is exactly the feeling I got from that. Like, I think that she knew we were in the area and we might stop by kind of a thing. But really I don't think we were actually invited there, and I doubt she thought we'd actually come. So anyways, while we were there, we met Mr. Clark. Turns out he happened to also be on there with his father.
Well, that's what Jake told us. He goes, you guys know Mr. Clark also has a place on this island. So we're like, Let's go check it out.
Maybe
Where
he's
is
here.
he? Maybe he's here. And it turns out he is there.
Yeah.
And he's having a weekend with his family.
Specifically, I believe just his father and one other person. I don't remember who the other person was.
Yeah, I don't remember super clear who it was. But
I think there were supposed to be more people coming, but largely it was him and his father.
We were clearly intruding.
Very much
on
so.
this vacation. And I felt bad about it. As a matter of fact, Mike and I tried to say, like, hey, Jake, he's obviously with his dad. Like, this is a moment. They're having a vacation.
It seemed like they were doing something there.
Yeah, and Jake, no, man. He wants to see us. Are you sure,
like,
Jake? This is like his personal time here.
And not only that, don't get me wrong. He was a really cool teacher and everything, and I'm sure he probably didn't mind it all that much. But we're still just like one of the 150 students he had that year.
Yeah.
I mean,
he entertained it. We kind of hung out in his backyard for a minute.
He was polite, but like
you could
clearly
tell
annoyed.
He didn't.
It
like,
wasn't
why
even
are these guys here.
I mean, it was very obvious that he did not actually want us there.
Yeah, with good reason.
Yeah,
we're a couple idiots.
Yeah,
so.
and that wasn't even him being a dick.
No,
there was no
being
reason
very
for us
nice.
to be there. He had a clear thing he wanted to do. He wanted to spend some alone time with his father, and then he had these students who he maybe liked or
blue.
Who knows? Maybe he didn't even fucking like us. He's just really polite most of the time.
Yeah.
Either way, he seemed to like you because he mentioned your name multiple times, and he seemed to kind of talk to you a little bit more.
Yeah, he was cool.
I think even after I introduced myself again, I'm not sure he entirely knew who I was.
I'm the guy that ripped the bottom mouth off of a fetal pig, sir. You don't remember me?
Oh yeah, I did do that.
It
was me and
out.
Aaron, the Asian kid,
Aaron Vaughn.
Aaron Vaughn, yes.
Apparently, mom shot him with a shotgun.
Yeah, I remember that.
As
right
the
after
rumor
graduation.
goes, I don't remember if that's even true or not. But
like the mom was trying to shoot the dad and shot him or something. I don't remember.
I don't know how it went. I
don't know if any of it was true.
If any of these people listen to this, there's going to be a fucking slew of fucking comments.
In case you're wondering, Aaron Vaughn, this was a rumor that was going around about you.
Yes, I don't know if that happened or not.
Maybe
but
you're dead right now. I literally have no idea.
You got shot with a shotgun. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. Glad you're on the road to recovery, though, sir.
Yeah, mostly for the drug addiction, though.
So, anyways,
Aaron Vaughn loved heroin.
I wanted to say all that stuff to let people know.
Yes,
Mr. Clark is not a bad guy, but I had recently a bad experience.
Okay, and let me just also preface by saying one thing I did pick up on Mr. Clark from this whole situation that's about to be unfolded. He's kind of a bitch. Go on.
Oh, wow. Coming in tight with the language.
Yeah. All right, go on.
Here's what happened. So there was a post made on Facebook about it was a video of a girl who was just doing basically a joking bash on millennials, kind of just like things like they're on their phone all the time. They don't
Usual
take
cheesy
anything
joke.
Yeah, just taking just kind of bashing it around. So I made a response to the video saying, kind of my point of view, and I can be a little, I don't want to say harsh, but I can be dry at times. And
it may not come off as sarcastic at points if you over text-based messaging.
Right, and that's probably part of it, because it may have come out a little rash if you don't know my type of personality. I make a lot of jokes, but I make a lot of serious jokes, and I make a lot of fucking... I just have a way of talking about things that I'm not necessarily trying to bash anybody. I'm not necessarily trying to put anybody down. But it's just my opinion. And I was voicing my opinion on how, it's always funny how older people always knock the generation below. You know, it doesn't matter. You can go back 20 years, my dad says, dude, you're fucking, you guys, everybody in this generation is a bunch of pieces of shit. All they do play on their fucking phones all day. They don't fucking go outside anymore. They don't do any of these things. And then his dad before him says...
He has no work ethic. He has long hair. Sit around drinking and doing his drugs all day.
Absolutely. And then his dad before... And, it goes down. Every generation's got smack to talk. And that's
I talk
cool.
so much shit about the generation after us.
That was the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
So I basically said that, and I said, It's just funny how every generation thinks that the latest one is always the worst one and the laziest one. Our generation also has a lot of positives, though. I go, back in the old days, you could throw the N-word around. There's a lot of things that we've made a lot of progress. We have the internet. People today are smarter than they've ever been because the access to information is more accessible than ever before. All this kind of, yes, there are things that are quirky and that you can bash above the generation, but just because it's evolving and it's not evolving the way you may want it to evolve, you can't argue with the fact that it is evolving and it is changing. It just may not be the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a natural thing. It's not like there's something weird or unnatural going on, because if it's happening, that's the way it's supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
So that was basically my rant. I did use a little bit of language. I did say, back in the day, my dad went to, he worked part-time at a store called Corvettes, and then he worked part-time at a store called Sears. And obviously Sears is still around, Corvettes is not. Mm-hmm. But with that one part-time job, he was able to pay his way through Wayne State University, get a 4-year college degree, buy a car, have it paid for, and have spending money in his spare time, albeit he did live at home still. But he did all that working a very part-time job. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you can't get through school on a doctor's salary and pay for everything. Plus you got fucking car and insurance, all these things that you can't come close to doing that with any kind of job as a youngster. So I think
things have changed.
Yeah, people
simple.
ball bust, millennials for being lazy. But you know what? The system is not even close to the same as it was before. You could do a lot more with less back then than you do now. And my point is, it's not millennials' fault that that's the case. They didn't cause that to be the case. It's the generation before that caused that to be the case. And the generation before that, they're not the ones that sold the country down the fucking creek and it destroyed our manufacturing base and did all these things. It wasn't them that did it. And my point of the whole thing was, yes, this woman's got a lot of smack to talk about millennials.
And a lot of it is rightly so. But...
and a lot of it is rightly so. But at the same time, they didn't cause all the problems that they have now because... well, they're brand fucking new, so they don't have any decision-making abilities.
The ones that created these phones are always on all these apps and programs designed to manipulate them into using it constantly, the Facebook, the Twitter. That's largely people that are older than them, not necessarily the previous generation, but at least kind of in between the two. For the actual physical products, largely the previous generations were the ones doing that. Or, they kind of created most of the problems that we kind of see with younger people.
Right.
For profit and to great effect. I mean, I love having my phone. I never had one growing up. I didn't get one until after I graduated high school. I didn't really see the point. I'm like, I got a phone at my house. Why do I need to call people when I'm out?
Right.
And now, honestly, I can't, I have not had a house phone since I moved out of my parents.
You couldn't imagine life without the son of a bitch, could you?
Are you kidding me? When I leave this at home when I go to work, on occasion when I forget it, I feel like I've left a part of myself at home. And it's not like I get important calls all the time. It's weird because I don't really go on Twitter. I don't really go on Facebook. I don't do a lot of social media or anything.
Right.
But still, just like, if I wanted to call someone or if I wanted to look something up or if someone needed to get in contact with me, that is no longer an option at the moment.
Right.
So it's just like always kind of wondering, like, is someone needing to get in touch with me?
The expectation is there now, though. The expectation is that everyone can be reached.
Yeah.
So when you're not meeting that social expectation, it starts to feel a little weird.
Yeah.
So that was my whole point of the post, and I didn't think it came off angry. I think it maybe came off a little like
long-winded to what was a stupid
dickish.
joke. Yeah.
But anyways, he decides to defriend me over this. Now I know
block you, I believe, right?
I don't know that he blocked me. He just defriended me.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm not. I know that sounds really stupid to say, and as I say it, I cringe a little bit because it sounds so
You
fucking
defriended me
petty.
on Facebook?
Yeah,
You son of a bitch. But just the fact that he defriended you over an
Over
opposing
something
opinion.
like that.
Then you had, it wasn't even like you were like,
I wasn't
fuck you,
calling
our generation's better
absolutely.
than yours.
I didn't call him out in any way. I didn't mention his name. It was literally a reply to what the chicks was saying in the video. So
and it seemed like a pretty reasoned response for the most part.
Yeah.
Maybe dickish, but
it was a little dickish, but at the same time, it wasn't anything. I didn't think it was like overboard. I did say ass once. I said ass, and I was thinking maybe it had been a cursing thing. That maybe he just didn't want, foul language or something. But it wasn't like I wasn't dropping F-bombs. I wasn't, dropping all kinds of crazy shit. But I thought it was like a fairly normal response. And when I'm on social media, I post stupid shit all the time. And sometimes people don't agree with me. And sometimes people talk shit to me and people, call me out. But you know what? I don't delete any of them. I leave them up. Because I am open to people's opinion. If you want to talk shit to me, I have no problem with you talking shit to me. I'm a big boy. I can take it. I don't get upset about it. You can say crazy shit. You can call me all kinds of things. And I will leave it on there. I won't mess with it. I'll just leave it up.
Do you know how many people have mentioned the swastika tattoo on his back?
Who?
Like 3. Yeah.
So anyways, after he does that, I send a message to him. And I don't even know if I'll even be able to pull it up, to be honest with you. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I don't know where I've got these things here. Oh, that's why I'm not in the right thing. All right.
Well, since we got a small break, I was going to say.
Yeah, hit it
my
while I'm
cousin
pulling this
Ashley just got a new job.
Nice.
Yeah. So because she had to temporarily leave college for financial reasons, and now she's got a job that will pay her a decent wage so she can go back.
Nice. What she got going on?
She's working for Toyota, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Doing like clerical stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So good for her.
Oh, absolutely. That's very cool.
That's the text I've been getting.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations,
she
ma'am.
just got it.
Enjoy your new adventures and endeavors here at the Burgowski Corporation. Okay. Here we go. I've got the okay, so after he defriended me, I sent him a kind of a little jab of a note. I just put, "Ha, no healthy debate on Mr. Clark's post, huh? Sad, my friend." To which he does not reply for many days. So then he eventually does send me a reply. And Mike, shall I read the reply on the air here?
I believe you should, yes.
Okay. So his reply to my reply, his routine to my routine, was not when you're an ass about it. You didn't even read what I wrote. You went directly onto your own agenda about a generation that doesn't even represent yours. Well, actually, millennials are 1980 to 2000. So that is incorrect, sir. A group of individuals that doesn't even come close to comparable to your generation. Again, that's incorrect.
Yeah.
You wouldn't last a week in a classroom of these kids. Your opinion is exactly why people despise teachers. I don't know how that makes anything against teachers, but okay. I choose not to debate asses, and there is certainly no shame in that. Go win the world, bud. What's truly sad is that you are speaking as if you have experienced the very things I wrote about. I have.
Yeah, we.
I'm not even talking things that you wrote about. I'm responding to a video. I don't even know what the hell you wrote. I didn't read anything you wrote. I watched a video that you posted. So when in fact you haven't a clue of what I speak of in my experiences in the past 10 years, again, I don't know what the hell he's talking about because I didn't read anything that he wrote. So when you publicly call me out, which again, I didn't, then I have a problem with that. You want to sound intelligent on a topic and well-versed, then you had better certainly experience it first. If not, consider yourself a humble novice and go learn by experience first. By the way, what was the healthy debate you spoke of? This is no debate. Is a one-sided is this. There is no debate if one side is educated on a topic and the other simply has an opinion. I choose to debate well-informed individuals that have actually experienced the topic at hand. You simply don't qualify. That was his response.
All right, well, clearly he knows everything about you because he knows exactly what your experiences
Exactly,
are.
yeah.
But you don't know his.
Right.
But he knows all of yours.
Right, he knows all of mine. I was with him for a couple years during his teaching career.
When you were a very different person.
When I was 16, 17 years old, now 32.
Yeah. So literally half your life ago.
Literally half my life ago. So I responded to him, which he has not responded back. And my response was, you posted a video of a woman talking about a gross, I spelled it wrong, I wrote grass, but a gross generalization of millennials. That was my response to the video that you posted. They were her words, not yours. So where do you think I was talking smack to you? I didn't mention you once, nor did I tag you in anything that I was saying to basically say that I was talking to you. It was my reaction to her video that you were posted. Millennials are anyone born from 1980 to 2000. I was born in 1983, so that would include my generation. You also say that I have no experience with millennials. Well, I've got over 65 employees who are millennials who I work with every day. And I didn't even read what you wrote. Again, reiterating, I didn't even read anything that you wrote. I watched her video and commented on the video that she was saying. This all could be a gross misunderstanding. Maybe
well,
Clark...
If it was a misunderstanding, I think it would have been resolved by now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. If that was just like, oh, my bad, he'd respond block you or whatever.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever going to add me as a friend again. And,
no, I would doubt it.
I think something...
I have offered to let you just go on my account and just do whatever you want to it. I don't care.
I just think that it's fucking goofy as fuck. That's what I think.
Yeah. Wait, you have 65 employees?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I knew you had a decent number. I didn't think it was that many.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Technically, that's too large to even be considered a small business anymore.
Well, I guess we're a large
only go
business.
to 50. How many places do you have?
I'd rather not say
okay.
on the air, but tax purposes.
We'll say 2 then.
Yeah, 2 is a good number. But yeah, no, between the fish store, all the massage places, we got about.
I was trying to forget about the fish store.
Yeah.
I only think about the massage places.
But yeah, and all millennials are working there.
What, even at the fish store?
Yeah, because we got young people that work the fish store.
For some reason, when I think fish store, I think that's something that only old, relatively creepy people buy.
I thought that too. Chris has opened me to a whole world of young people and middle-aged, young, middle-aged. One, you got to have the money to buy the fish, so there's not a super huge influx of young people. If it's young people, we're kind of their parents are also fish nerds, as you know.
Okay.
But yeah, it's millennials working there and stuff like that. And actually, one of our employees goes to Franklin High School. So
really, okay. So clearly, you do have a lot of experience, real life, real world experience dealing with millennials.
Yeah, and
by the way, I would guarantee he does not think we're millennials because remember we had to look it up to figure out exactly what age bracket.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't think I was a millennial either. Yeah, because I was just kind of sticking up for them in a sense.
Because I remember we had to look that up once because we're like, oh no, we're not millennials. We're Generation X. That's the next generation. Turns out no, Generation X is millennials or Generation Y or whatever the fuck considered. I think Generation X was one before us.
So I don't know where all the fucking weirdness came from with that or why he's so upset. Literally, it's just me making a statement about a video. Apparently, he thinks that I'm saying something about something he typed, which I have no fucking idea
Honestly,
what he typed.
I wish we did know.
I wish we knew. I wish he could have tagged me or at least not defriended me so I could actually look and see what exactly it was that he's talking about.
I bet he's deleted it by now. Or I'd say you just sign into mine, maybe try to find him, see if you could find your post and go and look at it.
Yeah.
but I can almost guarantee he seems like the type that probably deleted that.
I think if
the
you're the
second he
type
got,
that deletes a friend over a differing opinion, even if it's even if
it's
I
a
have a
dumb
friend
opinion.
that gives me a dumbass dick opinion and slams me on Facebook, I don't care. It's still like, okay, like that's cool. I don't like block people. The only time I ever delete somebody as a friend is if they incessantly post like a ton of shit that like bogs down my news feed where I'm seeing like, what the shit?
Inspirational quotes, weirdly religious things,
Yeah,
gun
if it's like
facts.
too much, you know, you're just like every fucking thing I see.
And
is
I
this
don't say
guy's
those
post.
because I dislike those things necessarily, but because generally if someone's posting a lot, those are the things that they're posting.
Yeah, that seems to always be the
Yeah.
case. Religion is a big one.
Guns
are a big. I have one friend on there who literally every post he has ever made has to do with guns. But he doesn't overly post things, so I'm cool with it.
All right, but he's just consistent in his viewpoints. I got it.
Very consistent. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, that's like his platform. This is his platform to speak his mind about guns and.
Well, I want you to tell that guy I think
Amendments.
all guns should be banned and we should tear them away from his cold, dead hands. Specifically because we murder him first. I'm speaking, of course, on the behalf of the liberal government that wishes to take all of his guns.
Yes, take every one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
it's
what we've been waiting for.
so
He's wait
you
till
know,
Bernie gets there. He's gonna take them all.
I was just a little bummed out about the whole thing. I thought it was just you have someone who's kind of like a
And I'm not gonna lie.
not
my
an
people don't
idol,
know,
but a someone you look
Tim-
up to.
Tim has always spoken very, very highly of Mr.
I
Clark.
have.
Whenever we mention anything about high school, he gets brought up and always in a positive light.
Yeah.
I guess we've never really said anything bad about him prior to
Never.
this point.
And even wasn't bad about him.
Tim
it was literally
obviously
about a video.
lot closer. Well, now it's bad about him in the fact that he's clearly a bitch. But Tim was always a lot closer to him. And, yeah, you always seemed like you did look up to him to some extent because,
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
definitely
he
did.
was a funny guy. He seemed pretty worldly and, you know, he was intelligent. He didn't seem like he seemed the kind of guy that was open to debate and things of that nature. Not
Something
someone that's,
even
like,
you could talk someone that you could even have a differing a viewpoint and kind of talk shit a little bit about and would still be cool, which I think is the measure of a person. I think if you can take a bashing, you know, and it wasn't a bashing towards him, which I have to keep reiterating in any way,
it is
shape,
just a
or
straight
form.
differing of opinion to someone else's opinion.
Yeah, and for that,
it may be an opinion that he also held.
Yeah.
And maybe there was something in there where he was like shitting on his students and how like spoiled and dickish they are, which believe me, my sister's a teacher.
Right.
She talks about some of this stuff. I remember when I was in high school, if you had a phone, you were not allowed to take your phone out in
Fuck
class.
no. You would get
technically, if they saw you, if you took your phone out of your locker,
Right.
they had the right to take it away and hold it there till your parents came and get it later that day. You can't do that stuff anymore in schools.
Oh, really? You have to let them?
Basically, because you're not really allowed to take it away, but you can tell them to put it away. You can tell them to give it to you. But if they say no, you really don't have any recourse.
Yeah, you know what? I think you were telling me that a little while back, and you were saying that they kind of have to let them have their phones. Don't get me wrong. I completely agree that that's bullshit. Like, if you're in class, you're there to be in class. Stay off your fucking phone.
I'm just going to say it. Once you enter a school, I think you give up certain rights.
Yeah. It's like prison.
Yes, it is. It is.
Or the Army.
It is a state-run prison, essentially, that you're at for 7.5 hours a day. And when you go in there, you know, they decide your food, essentially, assuming you buy food from them. They decide what you learn. They should be able to decide some other, you know, if they want to check your locker, they should be able to check your locker. If they want to look in your bag, you pretty much have to let them. I would assume. But they got to think about, you know, kids have rights too. Do they?
Do they, though? They don't have the capacity for good judgment yet.
No, I could even care
to
less
have
about
full
that.
rights.
They get the best judgment in the world. But I always just thought about, and you know, that's just my opinion. I always thought once you enter a school, you give up certain rights.
I agree with you.
At least while the time that you're in the school. Once you leave, the second you get off the property,
or
even I'd say out of the fucking building, as far as I'm concerned, you should be able to get like 100% of those rights back. But when you're in there, you know, you're kind of in their own little private world almost.
Well, the thing of it is people are there. You may not be there to learn, but other people are there to learn. And you have to be able to respect other people being there and not interfere with their learning process in any way, shape, or form. as much respect as I've lost for Mr. Clark over this whole thing, you know, I take him 100% any day under these fucking unschooling motherfuckers.
Oh my fucking! Oh God, who was I just talking to? It was one of my coworkers. Her sister, who is an uneducated hillbilly.
Yeah.
And okay, she
Which
has a husband
always seems to be who these
is an
unschoolers
even
are.
More uneducated hillbilly who walks everywhere with a gun out in a different part of Michigan. We won't get into anything specific. Well, I guess they're deciding to homeschool or possibly unschool their kid. I can't remember which one it is. But either way, they're not going to go to a normal school because they don't think that they're being taught the right stuff. And I mind you that like their kid isn't
Like the
allowed
war
to go.
of northern aggression.
Well, they're from the north, so probably not that. But
Oh, okay.
you know just how God created all the animals and science is bullshit.
Yeah, that gets a little dicey when you
The
start
only
opening
math
that.
you need to know is counting bullets.
Right. Yeah, that's that's another weird thing when it comes to schools and religious things.
First of all, there should be no religion in schools.
No,
And there should be no learning at a church.
No. And you know what? It started to weird me out a lot lately when I see people go like real religious.
Yeah.
Like it's something like I don't know like what causes it to like where normal, and I hate to say this because it sounds so condescending, but smart people then take a whole stance on like total faith, total lack of evidence. And it's always weird to me how someone goes from one to the other extreme. Like that's kind of like
And
that's
usually
bizarre to me.
They use that to justify what are some pretty bad and awful opinions on things.
Yeah.
You know, violence, being
Stuff
uneducated,
against gays, stuff
minorities.
against,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I work with a couple of people who are extremely religious. I mean,
Right.
I'm talking one of them's going on missionary work to Africa and leaving for a month. Yeah, I mean, these people aren't like playing around religious. They are the real deal kind of thing.
Yeah.
And 100% committed to that. You know, and this isn't like former drug addict that found God or anything like that. I mean,
Right.
from birth, pretty much, they've been very, very religious. They're probably my favorite people there. They are super nice and
Yeah.
the least preachy about anything ever. And I make fun of religion in front of them, and they don't have a problem with it. They usually laugh at it because my jokes are hilarious.
Because people
But-
are that are secure within what they believe don't get weirdly offended. Like we used to climb with this guy, Ben Morris is his name. He's a pastor. Coolest fucking dude. One of the coolest fucking dudes ever. And he's a pastor. He's very religious, but he does not go around pushing it down people's throats. Yes, on Facebook he makes his religious posts. He's got a fucking congregation, you know? But he is a cool fucking solid dude. And when you can bash it, you can make fun of it. He doesn't care. It doesn't ruffle his feathers. He's just like, you know, he's our age, maybe a little older. But he's just a solid fucking dude. And like, that's cool. Like, I get it. What I don't get is somebody who's not and then becomes weirdly obsessed, and then everything is about that now, and it's like,
Yeah, or the thing I hate is people that don't like someone that is super over the top, crazy religious, supports all of their usually ignorant beliefs, but then they don't hold themselves to any of the standards of that religion.
right.
And it's like, yeah, I'm super Christian. I got these tattoos of crosses everywhere. I hate the gays.
Right.
Women are animals. You know, whatever the hell they believe. And it's like, so what'd you do last week? Oh, you know, I got drunk and fucked a bunch of bitches. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, sir.
or they're religious and they're very judgy about everything. You know,
Yeah.
it's like they're the one they're Christians who are supposed to be totally anti-judgmental about, you know, accepting of everything, not judging.
They're the
people.
Planet Fitness of religions.
The only one that can judge is God above.
Yeah,
but
you know,
fuck, do they judge? They judge. They got a
Let
judgment
ye
for
who is
every
without
fucking
sin
thing.
cast the first stone and what have you.
And it's just so weird. Like it takes on a fucking.
Well,
mind of
I
its
think
own.
most of them are a little more Old Testament than New Testament, if you get what I mean.
No, I definitely hear you there.
No, it's for instance, like my Muslim friend at work. I think she said something to me earlier today. She's like, "Oh God, Mike," and I'm like, "Who's God? My God or your God?" she turns to me and goes, You don't have a God. And I'm like, that's actually shockingly accurate. Me being basically an atheist, so.
Yeah,
people that don't get upset about that kind of stuff. Whereas I know there's a lot of people, if I said something like that to, would lose their shit.
Well, you know what the thing of it is, though, is I find that those people really are super insecure about themselves. And it all boils down to, it's like they do it, and now that they have this belief, they're better than. I'm better than you.
Yeah, it's a lot like joining a club
Yeah.
more than anything. It's kind of like me when I really liked U of M for literally no reason. It was like, I was in kind of, because I had friends that were super into U of M, family members that were into U of M. So I was kind of just in it. I didn't actually give a shit. It was just kind of being part of that club. And I don't know why that's bringing me back to, I remember The Social Network, the movie about Facebook.
Yeah.
And the reason he created Facebook, the idea is to make it exclusive so only certain people could join. And that's what
only
made it
people
popular.
with an Ivy League web address could.
Email address.
Email address, yeah. What the fuck am I talking about?
Nah, it's on the web. It kind of works. It's just kind of being part of that group more than it is about, I think, having the actual beliefs. Not to say that they don't necessarily have the beliefs, but...
We're sponsored by Verner's.
No, we're sponsored by Atwater.
Oh, okay. That too.
Yes. Atwater. Don't believe in God.
That's their slogan, yeah.
Atwater. Religion is the opiate of the masses.
Made by hops grown by the Baphomet himself.
Does that almost look kind of like a proletariat kind of thing? Like, so you see kind of an old Russian.
Yeah, it does. Especially
Mark
with like
6,
the city behind it.
Yeah.
Like that. The only thing that's missing is like the bombers flying overhead.
Drink state-sponsored beer.
Drink state-sponsored beer or else face gulag.
We should probably bring up the fact that neither of these companies sponsor us.
No, not even a little bit.
We take back everything we said about them. They did not say any of that.
Yeah, we don't have sponsors because
no one would ever sponsor
No
this.
one would ever sponsor, and
Also,
we don't
we're not
need their
consistent
fucking
in-
money anyways.
Exactly. Are you kidding me? I got phone case money. By that, I mean I bought a new phone case. It's not this one, but I'll get it soon. Don't worry.
What'd you end up getting? Anything jazzy? I got the new S7, by the way.
Oh, God, I want the S7 so bad. It is so much. No,
The
okay,
Edge.
and I don't like the Edge personally, but here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously I always like having the newest technological thing.
Sure.
But honestly, I loved my S4. The S4 is fantastic. I upgraded to the S6 because it has an amazing camera and it had some pretty good reviews. Here's the only problem that I have with it. It's a piece of fucking shit. It is the worst fucking phone I've ever owned.
No
I hate
memory
this
card,
phone.
too, right?
Oh, yeah, which even that I don't mind. I got 32 gigs on here. Even though that is little, I have to constantly delete things. That doesn't bother me all that much. What bothers me is this phone is a piece of shit. I mean, just the most basic things. There's weird lag to it. When you type, it'll, like, stop getting responses. It'll lag so you don't type
That's
things
how my
correctly.
S5 was. That's why I
Exactly.
got rid of it.
I hated the S5 too. That's why I never got one.
You know what? It didn't
But this
seem
one
to
has
happen until after the service update is when I started having problems.
You know, some people said that with the S6, but my S6 has been like this the entire time I've owned it. The one thing I will say about this, the camera is fucking amazing. I love the camera on the S6 so much. S7 should be even better
Check
than
this
it.
motherfucker out. Okay, let me tell you something. This is front-facing camera.
It's a good fucking camera.
This is my rear-facing.
God damn. I love that camera. Does yours have the Pro function too?
Yeah.
I love having the Pro function on there.
I took that shit out. We went for Mother's Day. We went out to the Riverwalk, and we did a bike riding. You rent the bikes. You go up and down the river.
My front facing isn't nearly as good as yours. My rear facing is almost as good, though.
Yes, the S6 rear facing is phenomenal. I
Yeah.
went from the S5, which was dog shit, my friend.
Oh, I hated using the camera on your phone. I loved the S4 was so much better than the S5, like in pretty much every way. But then again, I fucking hated the S5. The S6, I got a lot of problems with. I don't hate it as much as I hate the S5, but it's a piece of fucking shit.
Get this S7.
I know.
Dog. You ain't gonna regret
I've
it.
used Steve's S7. I fucking love it. Here's the problem though. I want something better than him, so I'm waiting for the S8. And fuck him.
Yeah, absolutely. When is that? Next year's model?
Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna do. What's cool about this camera is they reduced the megapixels, and they added.
How many megapixels is it?
I think they went. You know what? I don't remember. That's bad.
Mine's 16.
It's lower than that. I want to say
Like
they
14,
went down
15?
to like 12. But
Really?
they added like a sensor thingy.
Well,
And
the
like,
sensors are more important. That's
Yeah.
why, even like the, $3,000 cameras only go to like 20 megapixels.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, our friend Jeff had a phone that had 40 megapixels on their phone.
Yeah.
And obviously that phone couldn't take nearly as good of pictures as,
Yeah.
camera. But, had a lot to do with the lenses, the sensors, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get yourself something like a Hasselblad or like a Canon Mark 1 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm also in Mark 3, actually.
Yeah, and you'll get
Those are nuts.
an amazing fucking sensor. But those two are like what people don't really get about like actual SLR cameras is if you take a photograph with an SLR, it typically doesn't come out very well. The SLRs are made to gather as much information as you can of raw data as you can, which is why a lot of professionals will shoot in RAW format only. They won't shoot in JPEG format or anything like that. They'll do it in RAW to avoid the compression issues. And it also lets you record much more of the photographic information that you're taking a picture of. So when
How big is one single photo using RAW format?
Oh, fuck, dude. It depends on your camera.
Okay.
It depends on, how many megapixels, type of sensor, all those.
I mean, are we talking like 30 megabytes or are we talking like 200 megabytes?
You know what? I don't have the answer to
Okay.
that. I should.
I
It's
was just
sad.
wondering.
I've been doing
Yeah.
this for so long, and I don't even know. All I know is it's a substantially more memory. You can fill up a card very quickly shooting in RAW, and you can get thousands of pictures in JPEG.
Okay.
But you don't get the gem of the DSLR or a high-end camera until you go post-processing with it. Then all that information is available for you to manipulate. So if you don't shoot in RAW, you have a very limited amount of information from the JPEG file. And you can make some edits, but it's not going to be the way that you want. Same thing like, cameras that, we've all seen those cameras where,
Like
any
Cool Pics
movie,
or whatever.
like they shoot like feature films with.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
the
you
giant
watch
ones.
and you watch the director's cut and they're shitty. You're like, God, this looks like it was shot with a fucking, handy cam.
Yeah, I was always wondering, like, when you see like a cheap movie versus a good movie, it's and you hear like, oh yeah, they were using kind of the same cameras. Like, why does one look 1,000 times better than the
All
other?
post.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what did they do in post that makes it look that good?
They use Pro Tools, they do all these things where they've, way beyond my fucking knowledge base. But yes, that was a big kind of point of interest of mine for a really long time, was how they took this, because I didn't know that. When I first bought my my first nice camera, I'm like, God,
That's the one you gave to me?
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah, that was like my first decent camera.
I love it.
And I took, I was taking pictures, and I'm like, well, God, how come they don't look fucking amazing? Like they look good, but they don't look like, whoa, like that's a beautiful fucking picture that you see on it's all post processing.
Yeah.
And most of those cameras, high end cameras, they don't take good pictures like point and shoot, because the point and shoot does a lot of got little algorithms in it that kind of help your your photo along, as opposed to really just shooting in a raw format to where you have to edit a lot afterwards.
Kind of like does it like an auto post processing.
Yep, kind of
what
does
they
it.
consider to be probably basic settings, generalized ones that apply to most photos.
Even on fancy cameras, they still have the generalized auto shoot and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they have the auto. You have one for like if you're taking pictures outside at night. All the general stuff.
Of course, your snobs, you're only shooting raw and you only shoot manual, bro. It's like, well, who the fuck's got the time to, unless you got light meters and all this other bullshit. Fuck, we're over time.
Oh, God, how far are we over? It's okay. We're making up for...
8 minutes. We're making up for all the fucking time that we missed before.
Yeah.
So fuck you guys. You'll sit there and listen to what the hell we're saying.
I have the mic. You'll listen to every goddamn word
Especially
I have to say.
you, Clark. If you want to debate this, Like
You're
I said,
welcome to come on.
We don't hate you. We don't hate you.
No,
and we
I always
didn't
liked you.
and we didn't fucking disrespect you.
I did actually call him a bitch several times.
You did.
Yes,
He did.
and
so
I stand by that. If you want to debate that fact, then by all means.
Take him up in the People's Forum, the Octagon.
Oh, by the way,
Joe Louis Arena.
We'll soon be moving to new digs.
Yes,
right?
Maybe. DeCarlo has not given me the go-ahead because she's kind of pissed at me for not helping around with basic household chores.
Do a couple of chores. Let's get down there.
What I do have to do
a
anyways
normal chair.
is we are going to get a new studio, whether it happens in the basement or whether it does not happen in the basement. There will be a new studio regardless.
Okay.
Because, quite frankly, we're like outgrowing this studio, and we need cooler shit, So we got monitors that'll have our new logo on it. We got a lot of cool, jazzy, funky shit. These cameras are all gonna be on little fucking pulleys, and they'll be able to move around and zoom in and crazy shit.
Really?
And if
so I don't get everyone far away, show my entire body, I can get closer like you got it.
You can be closer, and we can be on like the same team.
Okay.
And potentially we could maybe have Nelson. We don't know 100%. To be able to go back and forth with the cameras and really amp up our production.
And once we get that in there, I could probably get Joe to come here and help us out with the sound stuff again.
Yeah, we'll need to
recalibrate.
And then I don't know how any of our guests are coming along, if those guys even want to fucking come on.
They do. I'm really bad about contacting people.
It's cool. I get busy too, and we forget about this shit.
See, Josh is usually good on Thursdays and occasionally Sundays.
Okay.
Rob will find out.
Okay.
Kevin also kind of a wild card there.
What about Irish Gary?
Oh, shit, I keep fucking forgetting about it. We'll probably get him whenever.
Yeah.
As long as it's late enough at night and he doesn't have to worry about his tangible kid. Ugh.
Yeah, if for some reason the basement doesn't work out, because it may also become a spare bedroom.
Okay.
When we've got like her sister coming in this weekend, it's good to have a spot where people can go.
Yes, it is.
So don't get me wrong. If that is the case and we can't set up shop down there because people that's using the spare bedroom don't want a fucking studio in there, which it would just be a small place anyways. Yeah. But I'll just reconfigure this office here.
Or I
feel like I'm wasting a lot of space with this desk in the middle here.
It's a pretty big desk. I mean, it's got a lot of ducks on it, though, so, it's got that going.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my ducks in a row over here.
That guy with his jokes.
I know. You're not going to defriend me on Facebook for that joke, are you?
I already did.
Okay, that's
what's okay. I followed you twice on Twitter with all of my secret handles.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, this guy has thousands of Twitter bots that he controls.
Most of them are super racist.
Or heavily pornographic. One of the two.
Can it be both?
Oh, dude, we didn't discuss any gender bathroom situations.
Oh, well, now we got something for next week.
We do. We're going to bump that
later
shit.
this week.
We're going to bump that shit to another show. It's taking off more and more each time. Our problem is our consistency is not great.
It used to be amazing. We've really fallen off.
We've
I
become
think
very
largely
lazy.
because I've been very tired.
I've been very tired, too. I've been fucking putting in a lot of time, opening up these new places, and it's been really kind of driving me a little batty. Right. Tomorrow's my first day off in a long time, so that'll be cool. So, yeah, we'll try to get back on the consistency, but the main thing of why I want to get the studio going is because it'll make consistency easier because I don't have to plug in, reset everything up, set up cameras, all this crazy bullshit. It's already going to be, basically done for us, so we just have to sit down and go. Yeah. And I need another computer with a better video card.
Worst case scenario also, maybe we do it in my basement. Don't forget, I got a basement.
That's
it's unused.
True. You have a basement.
Yeah. It's not, super cool looking or finished, but...
That's okay.
All right.
It doesn't have to be finished because we can just hang a monitor. We can just, I got the 32-inch we can put back there.
Oh, awesome.
Plus, we're getting a bunch of fucking swag printed. We're getting a fucking logo with us on there. So, it is what it is, but it's little baby steps. Eventually, we'll get there. We want to give the people what they want. We want to give a high-quality production.
All right. Oh, we also didn't talk about Marvel's Captain America, but also I guess I probably shouldn't. You haven't seen it yet.
I have not seen it yet.
You need to see it because next week we're going to discuss it.
I know everybody's been talking
It is
about
so fucking good.
the fucking movie of the fucking spring. Well,
That seems accurate.
yeah, because Deadpool wasn't really in the spring.
Wait, was it? No, that's February, so that was still technically winter.
Oh, what a fucking good movie.
Oh, my God. I love it. I got it on DVD yesterday, or
Did you?
Blu-ray. I was going to get it in a 4K Blu-ray format till I figured out that I'm an idiot and you need a special Blu-ray player for that, which would make perfect sense because it's a completely different video format. And I'm not willing to pay $500 to get one, so, fuck it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, like, I am usually, don't get me wrong, I like superhero movies, but I'm not usually a huge fan. That movie blew me
good.
the fuck away. It
So
changed
3 times
my
in theaters,
fucking mind.
I downloaded as soon as there was a good copy out. I've watched it. I was late to work twice because I stayed up all night watching it.
I know
Back-to-back nights, I mind you.
Yes, there have been several times where people have not been able to get into the massage place because they're like, it's 11 o'clock, the door is not open. I'm like training these people. I'm like, shit, okay, yeah, it's 11 o'clock, I'm still laying in bed, I need to get my ass up and get over there. Sorry, I am your unreliable
I wasn't that
boss.
late for work.
But, yeah, all right, Mike, that's
all
it.
right.
Fucking take
that
us
is
the
out.
fuck out of here.
Good night and good luck.
Good night and good luck. It gets better every time.
Thank you. Also, I like the fact you turn up the volume in the headphones because now I can actually hear myself better.
Yeah,
Before, I felt like I had to yell everything, which I probably didn't have.